land of YouTube, Annette Dion here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. How are you? It's Saturday night. Live from Massachusetts. It's Saturday night. I hope you had a good day. I'm going to ask a few questions tonight about some things that are optimistic. And I just got through listening to a video by Harry Sisson, who's under the Midas Touch umbrella. You know, the young guys, the 21, 22-year-olds that are on Midas Touch. And he was covering a story about how Elon and Twitter, I mean, this is actually good news, has decided to reveal the source of information, like where the information that's directed towards MAGA heads, where it's sourced from, foreign nations. And so that's pretty pivotal, because at the time that we're in, where I predicted for you, because I got this from my guides, that maybe some of you did too, got the same information, that this year we were going to go through this real tumult because we need the MAGA to get shaken up into the reality that they have been being played and conned by bad actors in addition to the orange monster. And that we need this time. I know we all have to go down with the ship, you know, like, but we're not going to sink completely. But we have to experience this falling apart, this sinking of our nation, while MAGA wakes up. And so this is another way for MAGA to wake up, is if people start to see on social media, on X or Twitter or whatever the hell they call it nowadays. Hang on a second. If people see the light got brighter, they see the light. And they actually recognize that all this information about Biden and the libs and, you know, like, I'm not saying this is going to, like, create a big shift all of a sudden, but it's happening gradually. And this will be a big piece of it. When they find out that all this information that they thought was coming from reliable sources was actually, in fact, coming from foreign countries that want us divided. And we know in earnest that for the past 10 years, this country has been divided. I've read many times, like Lavrov, who's Putin's lapdog, would say, like, after we sent aid to Ukraine back last year, I think it was, MAGA Mike finally, after 6 months of hemming and holding things up, he's that's his brand, just hold things up. After he finally released the aid to Ukraine, the weapons to Ukraine, this is last year, then what happened was Lavrov, Putin's puppet there, over there at the Kremlin, started to say, well, okay, now we're going to really see America divided, because they were going to double down. The plan was to double down and to really, really divide us. That actually was before the election. So now the evidence will be there for all those people that are on X that are, hopefully it will last. I'm going to make sure that I read on this. All the misinformation, they'll just get to see it came from Madagascar. It came from somewhere in Eastern Europe. It came from Russia. It came from China. And so this is another opportunity, besides the failing everything that the Dumpy's doing, sticking it to them and us. In addition to that, to find out that they've been listening to and reading total misinformation that's not even out of this country. It's from foreign nations that want us divided, and divided we have become. So let's ask this. is it going to last? Is Elon going to stick with having this new practice of having entries on X, posts on X that are MAGA directed? Is it going to be a long-term thing that he has the source, the country source of the information listed? Is this something that's going to last? I have a no. Okay, but it's happening right now, so let's see how long it will be in effect. Will it last 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? It's kind of undetermined right now whether that practice will continue. I actually see Elon getting pushback and the potential for him to get favors if he stops that practice, which, yeah, that's what's going to happen. So it looks like that'll be a practice that's in effect to list the country source of the MAGA and misinformation. But I do sense that Elon gets pressure on him from bad actors from other countries that are doing this thing. I mean, I'd like to say that he gets bribed by them to not do that. But the man stands to be the world's first trillionaire, so I don't think it's the money. Let's pull some cards about it. I don't think it's the money that would persuade him to stop that practice. I think actually that I need my nefarious cards. We'll use these. Oh no, here they are. I think actually that it's about the favors. So he set himself up. There's always a malevolent ulterior motive. So he's setting it up so that I'm going to show the country that this misinformation is coming from, that's directed at MAGA. I'm going to show which country you are. And then if the country wants to continue their misinformation stream, they have to do Elon a favor. It's called bribery and or extortion. 3 cards about that situation. So, okay, so it's similar to, you start to see the pattern after a while, you know what I mean? It's similar to Amazon when Trump threatened the tariffs and Amazon, Bezos freaked. And so Bezos said, if you do the tariffs, then I'm going to put a note on all the Amazon orders that the reason this order is so much higher in price is because of the Trump tariffs. And then Trump turned around and bribed him into not doing that. There's so much news, I don't even remember how Bezos ended up not doing that. And I'm not even sure how it stands right now, because I heard he was going to go back to put in a little notation that the reason this product is so expensive is because of the Trump tariffs. I don't know if he actually reinstated that practice, because I'm not on Amazon anymore and I haven't heard. And I gotta tell you, it's way inconvenient to not be on Amazon. It is. There are things that I used to be able to get just like delivered the next day, obscure things, you know, like a certain kind of a pen or a notebook or a widget, or, you know, but I don't do that. And it's majorly inconvenient, but it's also, it's a good practice to not support people that are just destroying the world. So I'm not sure if that tariff note is happening now on Amazon. But anyway, back to Elon. Yeah, whoa. I think that letting people know that the misinformation that they believe is true, that they're reading on X, is from foreign actors, I think he's gonna get into a world of trouble about that, because the world wants to take America down. And so what I have here is Seven of Swords, stealing. Three of Swords. It's going to be hard on Elon to be doing this on Twitter. And the Eight of Wands. It's going to kind of come and go quickly. So I think, well, let me just ask this. Will that practice, will it end by the end of the year? Interesting. But at least we have a window where the MAGAs, those that are still MAGAs, and they're dropping like flies, there's going to be a time period where they get to see all this information that they thought was coming from America, from reliable sources, was actually not coming from America. So I think, I'm getting like around 6 weeks before Elon stops that practice. So interesting. We've got Alvin the Alien here tonight. Hello, Alvin the Alien. Let's see what he has to say. The 3-1 Atlas, he's just reminding me, is being talked about quite a bit. And if you haven't heard, it's a mysterious object that is coming from, I don't know if it's within the Milky Way galaxy. I don't know if they figured that out yet. But anyway, scientists and astronomers are unable to really tell us what it is. So what I heard recently is that this, I think it's 3-1 Atlas. I'm not sure why they call it that. If I find out, I'll be able to remember it more readily. Like, why do they call it that? It would appear to be a comet at first glance. But the mystery about it is that scientists and astronomers are saying it's not behaving like a comet, and it doesn't have a tail, and has something like, looks like headlights right at the front of it. They must have a really powerful telescope, but of course they do. So we're going to talk to Alvin the Alien to find out what's going on there. It's going to come closest to Earth in its travels on December 19th, which is, incidentally, it's I'm having a winter solstice event. There's another one that's virtual, that I'm offering with Kathy Beale, but I'm having a winter solstice event in a salt cave here, and it's on the 19th. And if you're in the area, you might want to drive over and join us. But it is on the 19th, and if your birthday's on the 19th, it'll be interesting. My sense about it, because I've tuned in, is that it's not a comet. But now the astronomers are trying to say that, after they said it doesn't have a tail, now they're trying to say it's a comet. All right. Is it a comet? I'm saying yes. Is it more than a comet? It's a comet with extras. Really strong yes there. Yeah, really strong yes. Is there any alien intelligence? Here we go. Is there any alien intelligence associated with this? Is there any alien intelligence associated with it? Okay, ask a different question. Will it come closer to Earth than what they are talking about? Oh, that's interesting. (3-1 Atlas, I believe that's what they're calling it. I don't know why they're not calling it 31 Atlas, but anyway, I'll find out more and we'll read on it again too. Is this object from another galaxy that has intelligence. It is. Okay. So let's pull some cards about it. And we'll put Alvin over here. Ah! He's so tiny. It's hard for him to stand up. He's just too little. We'll put him here. Okay. Maybe you can play the piano. Seems to be losing his balance. I can relate, dude. I can relate. There's a lot going on. Hang on. There he is. Look, little Alvin. We're going to read on it. Yes, sirree. We're going to read on it. Let's see what comes up. I'm going to actually use these cards. The ones that I read in the morning. Like, what does this object have for us? And I'll tell you my psychic impressions too. It's reminiscent of the green comet that I talked about a lot back in 2022 or 2023 in February. I think it was 2023. Yeah, it was. The green comet that hadn't traveled to be as close to the earth as it was since the dinosaurs roamed the earth. And I got that was a huge evolutionary jump at that time. So we're in that big energetic transformation time. Healing. I'm asking about this object. This space object. Healing and suppression. Okay. So let me tell you my impression that I get about this is that it has a consciousness. It has an intelligence. And this isn't it, but the closest thing that I can compare this consciousness, intelligence to, that I feel that it has psychically, is the Akashic records. But it feels to me that it has knowledge of the evolution of the earth and human civilization. And it also has knowledge that's going to be transmitted to us of what we do next. So it's going to be fascinating. This is big stuff. I kind of like reading on big stuff because it's so, like, literally, it's so out there. I mean, that all I can go on is my psychic impression. So the vibrational frequency of this thing is going to accelerate the vibration here. Now, I want to mention, too, that I'm getting very strong messages about December. That December is going to be like, I was describing it to my best friend today, who came to visit. Like we're heading for the Titanic, right? But a whole bunch of us jump into the pilot house and we grab the wheel and we go, look, we're heading for an iceberg. And we all jump in and we make sure we turn that around so it doesn't crash into the iceberg. That's my feeling about this 3-1 Atlas. Cosmology, the energy of it. And so here, so the suppression that we're experiencing is part of the transformation that's going on. But this is also about, like I heard the scientists say, they went from it doesn't have a tail, it's not behaving like a comet, to now they're calling it a comet. And I think it's for just lack of, like, being able to explain it. So they have to have their default mode is to call it a comet. It's not a comet. And so they're going to suppress the information. They're going to try to get us all to think that that's all it is. Oh, it's just a comet. We made a mistake. We didn't see it at first, right? But this is about really tuning into the higher consciousness. It's bringing a healing vibration here. It is. So I don't think it's going to be aliens that land their spaceship. That's already happening. Yes, I just said that. It's not going to be that. My psychic impression is that it is going to accelerate the frequency on the planet. That's already happening. We get bombarded with cosmic rays all the time. Solar flares, and they're getting more intense and they're getting more frequent. So I know, I'm halfway thinking, boy, I must sound like a wackadoodle talking about this, but maybe I'm wackadoodle, but but I'm not talking about something that's wackadoodle. So I'm getting the sense to just tell us all that the more we can get into the mindset to not expect to know how to navigate through things, to not expect to just know ahead of time how to navigate through these changes. So we can't really look at our frame of reference as being, oh, what happened in the past, because there's like the word unprecedented is probably going to be the word of the year, right? If it wasn't already. The more we can get into the mindset of faith and trust that we'll be shown the way, the easier this whole transitioning and this heightening vibration on the planet, the easier it's going to be. It's kind of like learning to not fight it and to just accept something that we've never experienced before as being okay. I didn't really expect to go on about that, but it just kind of popped in. Yeah, more on that later. And I'm going to pull a Moonology card just to see what the Moonology card says about this. So it's not a comment. When I asked the pendulum that, and it said yes, I more get that it's got qualities of a comment, but it's not a comment. Okay, so one card about the space object. Don't let your past hold you back. I swear to God. Took the words right out of my mouth. I just said this. Don't let the past hold you back. It's interesting to live in my brain. It's interesting to me anyway. Like, that doesn't surprise me. It's cool, but it doesn't surprise me. We're not alone. I'm going to now look at today. There was a huge rally in D.C. Dumpy, his behavior has been most heinous than ever. Marjorie Taylor Greene turned on him. The Epstein information is coming out. It's like, and I'm just going to read on how the rally went, and if that moves the needle, I'm sure that it does. I get that it does. Articles of impeachment are being submitted by Al Green, Jessica Denson, and that whole movement there. They had a rally that was about 3 days long in D.C. And I think that we really, we need to visualize that this country stops treating our government and behaving as a government that thinks it's a reality show. And I really mean that. We are in serious times, and serious things need to be addressed. And all we see is like, oh, the ratings, and this one's fighting with that one, and it's like, this has been going on for way too long. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. It's just, when you really think about it, and I know we all try not to, but when you really think about it, it's such a dangerous place. It's like, oh, here we are, a country that's living in a world that's not real. But the world goes on being real. And I'm going to pull 3 cards about how that rally went today. Stained Glass Tarot. This Moonology deck is pretty cool. Sometimes I think that people probably think I planned that ahead of time. Like for the card to say exactly what I just said. Nope. That's the guides. That's the guides. It wasn't me. Okay, so what I'm asking about is, did the rally move the needle? Well, it made the emperor, it made the orange monster feel hemmed in. Yes, it did, and I think he was off on a golf trip, another golfing trip. I do think that that's where he was. But he's aware of the rally, and maybe he was there when it was happening. And this is the Two of Pentacles. Yep. We're holding the line, people. We are holding the line. And the thing that's working, and it is working, is that nobody's letting up. The American people have not let up since January. It's November. We have not stopped making the calls, doing the rallies, organizing, doing the YouTube videos. I mean, all of it. We have not stopped. And we built this momentum up during the I want to say the Biden-Harris campaign. We amped it up during the Harris-Walz campaign. We were completely organized. And no, it's true. We were organized before that. We were organized when Biden was in office. And now that's just growing and building. Let me say it again. The American people have not let up since the beginning of the year in terms of like to get the pressure on to get him out of there. So let's ask this. Because so now he's hemmed in. This is the Eight of Swords. This is the jail card. He feels imprisoned in his own mind besides. And the Two of Pentacles is everything's hanging in the balance. So I'm going to ask this simple question. Is this regime, in the current energy, is this regime, has it failed? The regime has failed. Now I want to also mention that many months ago, maybe 4 months ago, it's not that many months ago, the guides told me that Russia had lost the war. And the war is still going on, but just the fundamental energy is Putin has lost the war. So has this regime failed? Yes, it has failed. Will the Trump regime be removed? So it's giving me the runaround a little bit. So be removed is kind of like somebody goes in and removes. So we've been talking about the military, and it's been consistent the past few days that the answer to that kind of question has been kind of, sort of, not really. So let's see. Does it just happen on its own? Does it just fall apart on its own? Yeah, it's more that. It's more that it falls apart on its own. And, you know, I've had visions lately of just, I have a memory of Saddam Hussein being, the statue of him being pulled down by the people. They had ropes and stuff, and they were pulling it down. And I feel that kind of energy in the United States of coming from we the people. We're pulling it down. We're pulling the regime down. Let's ask this. Will it happen? Will we pull the regime down by the year of our 250th anniversary? Will we do it by then? Yeah. Let's stay actively engaged. And that means with our minds, not just with our activism, because our minds are let's be an activism mind, continuing to think very frequently, all day, every day, about that we're winning, democracy is winning, we're taking them down, we're saving ourselves, and we are succeeding, and it's obvious. Just keep those thoughts in your mind. Now, for more on that, I have Church of Spirituality tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. We pray for this country. And I very often mention what's going on in our country in the sermon. Every single week, 1 p.m. Eastern Time is a live stream. The other live stream I'm doing is Guided Meditation for a Healed America. That's on Thursday nights, and that's under. If you want to watch later, it's under the lives. Members, there's a psychic party the last Saturday of the month. That's the 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Please hit the thumbs up. Please hype this video. Hit the hype button, and like and subscribe. And this is me and Alvin the Alien signing off on Saturday night. Love you lots. All right, Judy the Democracy Elf too. Love you lots. Good night. Namaste. See you.